मुश्किल डायरीज में खिदमत और खुशियों की लम्हों से बुनी कहानियों को आप देख रहे हैं यहाँ।
Hey guys, I'm your friendly neighborhood Imi Khan, and today I have a very important guest with me, Mr. Samson Sandhu, on I Know My Why. If you know your why, you can do anyhow. So, Samson, welcome to I Know My Why.
Yes, thanks. Happy to be here.
So, tell me, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good.
And how do you feel about your whole aspect of going to Australia?
So yeah, I'm going to Australia to play basketball. This is going to be my third season, and I'm playing with the Southern Peninsula Sharks. Yeah, just going to play professional basketball.
So, can you tell us how does one reach there? Like, even your journey to Australia, how did that happen?
So journey to Australia probably started in 2014 when I, finished playing for India under 18,
Wow.
and yeah, that was my first big step in playing basketball outside of India. So I knew that there was more training involved, more time given to invest in yourself. And so I had a dream to play basketball in the US. And that's where I first went to play college basketball.
Okay.
Got that experience under my belt. And, so now I have a good resume with, I have a college basketball career on my resume. And so with that, I met a person in the US who, was willing to give me an opportunity to go to Australia and try out for this team. In 2022, I knew like I wanted to go to Australia, and I got on a plane, tried out for the team in Australia, and they picked me. So that was my first start to the professional.
So, how did US happen, and were there any prerequisites for Australia? And were you thinking about going to Australia and play?
So yeah, US was, in 2018, I had an opportunity to go to the US in Ohio to try out and just train with some of the professionals there and get feedback. But then eventually it turned out to, I was going to different colleges to try out, and they picked me to be on their university team, and that's how the whole US was. Yeah, the goal just pretty much got into a dream. I always dreamt of playing basketball in the US, and that fulfilled the dream. And then once I graduated college in 2020, I was hoping to play basketball anywhere professionally. It was in Australia. I never thought about Australia. Uh, as Indians, you always see Australia as like the India and
Rival.
Australia rivalry, and it's such a big country, and yeah, never dreamt about going there because it's so far away. And yeah, 2020 is when I first met someone in my contacts of people where they were willing to give me an opportunity to go to Australia, but I couldn't go because of the pandemic and the country was shut down. But 2 years down the line in 2022 is when I actually stuck to the plan for those 2 years and made sure that I really want to go to Australia, and I don't care what happens. I really want to make it. So I trained in the US, and just stuck to the plan. And 2022 is when I got awarded to try out with the team, and I made it to the team in 2022.
So, what are the requirements like? Do you need to do a specific? It's like how we call it, an audition or a test or a trial. How does that work to reach Australia?
So yeah, like I said, I had college basketball on my resume. I think the test and the audition that you're referring to in the basketball world, it means you need to try out. You
Yes,
have
try
to
out.
be there and try out and perform in front of. It's pretty much like acting. You have to give your audition to the directors and see if they really like you.
Yeah.
So the coaches are our directors. Yeah, there were a lot of guys where they were showing their skills as well, but the coaches get to decide who they want on their team and who can fit in their system. But yeah, that was like my tryouts with just trying to show the coach that this guy wants to be on that team, and I guess I did all the right things, and I got awarded by being on the team.
Let's go rewind a little bit. You played India under 18, right?
Yes.
Basketball. So can you please tell us about the journey? Like, how does basketball start with you? Considering in India,
Yeah.
we are consumed with cricket.
Yes.
You have taken a game, a sport, which is like a far side. I mean, of course, we are now turning around.
Yes.
So if you could just give us like a rewind of how did your journey with basketball start?
Yes.
And how did you reach US? And does the under 18 qualification, doesn't that give you some kind of a leeway to get sponsors who could like, push you to a journey further?
Yeah. So ever since I was a kid, cricket. I loved cricket growing up, and used to play gully cricket. Outside of YMCA, which was nearby house.
Okay.
And the YMCA had a basketball court, and we would see those people play basketball, but never really intended to try the sport. And one day, this coach, just came up to us while we were playing cricket, and he was like, "Samson, why don't you and your friends like join us and just learn the game?" And ever since, I took that step, I've just fell in love with the game, and that's how I first started playing.
When did that happen?
That was probably when I was
How old were you?
11-year-old.
Oh, cool, man.
11-year-old.
So are you still in touch with the coach who
Yes,
who
yeah.
got you to like explore the game?
Yes, so that's where I keep going. And play and
He's a noble guy, right?
train. He's probably in his 50s maybe now.
Okay, so because of his push, you started basketball, and then how does it go from there?
So-
from late age 11,
Yeah.
what was the progress like?
So the first peak I had was when I was 13, when I played for the Mumbai team. And then, as I kept growing in the game, got really good at it, and my parents were really supportive, spending more time on the court rather than, doing so much better at school. I first played for the Nationals, which is the Maharashtra team, when I was 17. So I had another big break after 4 years, pretty much. And then just the year after that, when I was 18, is when I got selected for the India team, and had
Wow.
a really good success with that as well.
What was your routine like?
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning, you have your school, you have tuitions, and all of that. So my parents kept a note of, you're only allowed to play like 3 hours in a week. So I would go Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 4 to 5 in the evening.
So just 3 hours in a week,
3 hours a
like,
week.
and you had to literally push yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in 3 hours, I mean, you don't get to do so much,
Yeah.
right? So from that, how did it progress?
So once I finished playing for the under 13 Mumbai team.
Okay, so tell us about the selection. How did that happen?
So selection was pretty much, a lot of kids come from different suburbs. So like there's Bandra, there's Santa Cruz, there's Chembur, and like all over the division around there. So we have like about 40 to 50 kids that come.
Okay.
And yeah, so you just pretty much, the coaches will be like, hey, let's do layups and let's do some shooting. And then in the end, you just play a game. And
Okay. So what are the tryouts like, and who funds everything? Doesn't your basketball federation fund you because you played for India 18?
I think, the whole point was like definitely my savings. Also, my mom had, loaned her gold.
Oh,
And
that's intense.
That's definitely intense. So, I mean, like it never was like, oh, I have so much pressure on me, but my parents were like, we want to see you like achieve like the impossible. So they were very supportive of me, to the fact that, she loaned all the gold that she had so I could have some money, so we paid for the flights with that, paid for a month and a half worth of like accommodation and food. So I think, yeah, that was the beginning of that story.
What are the kind of positions there when you play the game, and how do you get into a preparation mode?
So I was always, still am pretty much the shortest guy, even on my Australian team.
Really?
I'm the shortest guy.
So how is the tallest? How tall is the tallest guy?
There's a 7-footer.
Wow.
There's a guy who's 7 foot in the league. He's not on our team, but there's always guys that are 7. But an average height would be like 6'3", 6'4", 6'5".
So that's always an advantage.
Yeah, the height is always
Always
been
an
an
advantage.
advantage.
So, and how is it maneuvering with those people? Because their reach and everything is
Yes.
so easy.
Yeah, I mean, like as you learn, you understand the game, the awareness comes in. Being a short guy, you have to pretty much work harder than the others. You're looked down upon at some point.
So did it bother you?
Yeah, I mean, it does. So I guess that's how like the whole fire in me comes out, and I want to prove these guys that even though I'm short, like I have a big heart for the game. I mean, you can look down upon me, but like it's not gonna bother me. So I'm like happy to take that challenge on like any day.
What you said was really nice. It's like I have a big heart for the game.
Yeah.
So if you could just elaborate on that.
Yeah, I mean, basketball is definitely taking me to places. Right now, it's this is the way I'm making money, and it's good. Like living a lifestyle where your work is play. Basketball, like I've traveled to so many places, made so many friends. Met friends that are now family.
Wow.
So basketball is not just like a platform, but it's like a way of living for me now. So yeah, I guess like I want to give back to the basketball, to the community, to the kids, or whatever it's like, and that's my goal.
Okay. So what's planned next now? Since you're playing in Australia,
Yeah,
what's your future goals like?
I think definitely want to climb up the ladder. So I think having a great season is the first immediate step for me, and then climb up the ladder because I want to keep playing in a league that's well known. The league that I'm right now is in the not all the way bottom, but it's somewhere in the middle. The next step is going to be like NBL 1, and the next step could be like NBL, which is the highest league in Australia. So that's definitely the big goal for me.
Okay. And then from there?
Yeah, I mean, from there, I always come back home, reset, spend time with my family, hang out with my siblings, and eat all the good food that India has to offer. And yeah.
Nice. So if for our youngsters who are watching, what's the kind of message you'd like to give it to them?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's always trying to beat the odds. I always tell my story with just betting on yourself and making sure that I've got nothing to lose. We need to be willing to take the risk because I mean I'm still young, right? Like if I don't take risks now, I will always fall short of like whatever I dream about. So if I need to dream big, take the risk, and go after what I'm going after.
What's your mantra like?
My mantra is pretty much like I said earlier, I'm a big believer in my faith, and I hope, and I think I know like if you work hard, you plan your things right, and if you're working towards that goal, and your trust in God, I think that's definitely going to help you get to anywhere you want.
Thank you, Samson. It was a pleasure having you on I Know My Why, and you know your why, then anyhow is possible, right? So may the force be with you, and you scale up and rise up and take us to the next level at basketball.
Thank you.
Okay?
Yes.
Cool, man. Thank you. See you. Ciao. Bye-bye.
आप देख रहे